Just doing a quick sound test, make sure I can hear everything. God knows what that button does. There we go. Talking in my usual voice. Obviously, this isn't my usual voice. Okay, that sounds fine. So we can close that. And this. Resize that. Okay, so this is one of the quarterfinal battles. I think the upper bracket of the tournament that happened at the end of last month, so about 2 weeks ago. It's FFC against Raaar. So no, they've both picked similar starting positions. So just going to hit play and see what factories they both choose. Raar's already gone for the Shieldbot factory. FFC's gone for hovers. Hovers in a lot of cases are actually quite a good pick into shields because they have things like the daggers, so their Gorse weapons do bonus damage to shields. They also have a mace, which if you're against a shield ball, you can use the mace to force fire just on the edge of the shield and rapidly drain it with the high DPS. It's mixing in some constructors to start expanding. So is Raaar. So just sort of razors. Okay, now they both know what each other have. It's the downside to daggers that their Gorse weapon does a lot of damage, but it's got a low rate of fire. And Hover's turn speeds aren't great either in a lot of cases. So FFC's going for 2 defensive LLTs. So is Raaar. His are both forward facing. I think kind of banking on the fact that it'll be harder for the hovers to go round. The terrain at the back's a little bit steeper. Both players are making use of the added terrain to get good wind, so slightly more efficient. Go. FFC going for his expansion a little bit further back. Raar's just going for a very well defended, but closer 3-mile expansion. Neither player has started. I'll just do a quick check here. Neither player started reclaiming the rocks yet, which are worth a lot of metal. In some cases, in early game, neither player is stalling on metal yet. But when you are stalling, you're better off reclaiming it than actually building metal extractors. Build them when you can. Neither of them are stalling at the moment. Raar's having some energy issues. That's mostly because he's spending more at the moment, though. It's not a result of anything, so just have a little look at the early game, speeding up a little bit to see how successful these raids will be. Yeah, so I spotted the daggers coming in. Just putting a few more defences up. Yeah, they've both gone quite heavy on some LLTs, preventing the other party from raiding. I think the main battle is going to be about not raiding the opponent's main base, but raiding their expansion and keep them holding. Coverage on both is fairly standard. For FFC, I'd have liked a radar to be on the hill, just so it doesn't have as many blind spots. See, Raar's got much more consistent coverage. And FFC's got a few blind spots, just because its radar's lower down. Oh no, it is there, but it's not. If it was here instead, it would have less terrain blocking it. So FFC just trying to find the expansion. Raar's not committing to raiding, he's kind of starting to build up like a little death ball almost. Which I think is a mistake. I think bandits against daggers, bandits are cheaper Are they actually? Hang on, might just eat my own words. Yeah, they're slightly cheaper, and they win 1-1. So as long as you take the right fights, you can really punish, and he could have set FFC's expansion on the right back quite far. Going for an early geothermal from Raaar, so the advantage of that is it's one single point to defend. The disadvantage is you've got to pay 500 metal before you get any return. But he's managed to get it up. I'm just going to drop the speed back to 1 now. Do you see what the death ball's doing? Yeah, Raaar doesn't have any skirmishers that can really assault this ball at the moment, which is what he needs. But there you go, there's a lance out, which, as long as he keeps alive, and his army's out of position. Oh no! He should have kept the lance back here with the LLT close and brought his daggers straight back. So this may well be game over. Certainly should be. Just from he had enough daggers, but wasn't scouting what I was doing, preparing for a massive death ball. Another mace to start draining the shields, and I would say the skirmishers rather than a lance. I think it was too early game for a lance, especially where I had no protection at all. Yeah, let's speed this game up, because I'd be very surprised if this isn't over. Okay, so FFC has gone for a second lab, it's gone for a cloaky box. Short speed back down. So economy wise, they're actually Raaar is ahead, not as far ahead as he could have been. So I think it was still a clear victory. The only way Raaar would have lost that is if he just completely neglected to push the advantage. And he was clearing up all of the expansions, so multiple army, multiple points. Pretty clear there.